Well, that sure was a fun game to watch.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies videocast, and today we are going to be recapping tonight's game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Washington Nationals as the Phillies defeated the Nationals by a final score of 12-3. Bryce Harper with 2 home runs in this one, both to the opposite field. Now today we are joined by Nationals Prime. He's making his Phillies positive guest debut, so thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Before we get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. Now, the offense was unbelievable tonight. Didi Gregorius going yard, Andrew Knapp going yard, Andrew McCutchen going yard, and 2 Bryce Harper home runs. It was great to see, but unfortunately we did lose this series, but at least we did not get swept out. Nats Prime, your Nationals won the World Series last year. This year has not been their year for sure. But the Phillies did have a 7-3 record against the Nationals this year. What did you think about how this series went for the Nationals?
Well, the season series in total obviously wasn't what we wanted. You know, we had a good record against the Phillies last year, but, you know, not the same story this year. But I'm glad that, you know, considering the injuries and just the flat play that we've had all year, I'm glad to see the team at the end of the year, you know, pull out some wins.
Yeah, especially, as you said, you want to play spoiler, because the Nationals not going to make the playoffs, so I'm sure you'd love to see the Phillies miss the playoffs, right? I mean, if I was a Nationals fan, we were playing, last year, we were kind of out of it, and I really wanted to beat the Nationals so they didn't make the playoffs. So this year it's a different story. Guys, let's get right into the scoring summary. In the top of the first inning, we start off with a bang. As Bryce Harper, he went into this game, he did not have an extra base hit against the Nationals. As I said, he has not hit the Nationals well at all this year. He goes deep to left field, his 12th of the season, over the visitors bullpen, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. That is just a great start to a ball game. Bryce Harper has been having a lot of back problems. He's been playing hurt. It looks great to see him go out there and go yard like that. I think that really, really fired up the team. Then we have JT Muto grounding out to third base, and Andrew McCutchen crosses the plate, and the Phillies now take a 2-0 lead. I tell you what, they were able to nab Bryce Harper at second base, but I definitely think that would have been a double play. Josh Harrison, luckily, he dropped the ball in the transfer, so Muto was not thrown out. Then in the bottom of the 6th inning, Luis Garcia grounds out to second base, and Yan Gomes scores, and the Nationals now make a 2-1 ball game. At that point, it was a 1-run ball game. So what were your thoughts at that point of the game? I'm sure that, especially since the Phillies bullpen is just so terrible, bottom of the 5th inning, only a 2-run ball game. What were your thoughts at that point?
I was just thinking we needed to hold the Phillies offense, you know, where they were. Because, you know, get into the bullpen. Because Zach Eflin, you know, has a good history against the Nats.
Yes.
So I just wanted to try to score runs against Eflin, get into the bullpen, you know, hold the Phillies, and try to finish the sweep, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. It's just, as you said, it's for the Nationals in this. They were able to hit Noah well, and they were able to hit Wheeler well, and they still won 3 out of 4. But this game was just not their night for sure. Then in the top of the 6th inning, Bryce Harper does it again. I tell you what, he was on tonight. The Nationals were scared to death to pitch to him, walked him 3 times intentionally. I love to see that. He hits his 13th of the year. This was a wall scraper. This barely got out. Michael A. Taylor was trying to leap at the wall, but he came up short. 13th of the year for Harper, another solo home run, 3-1 Phillies. But this game was still far from over, though. And then Andrew McCutchen, I walked right into the room, I opened up the door, and bang, I was able to see an Andrew McCutchen home run, his 8th of the season line, fly ball to center field. It was awesome, man. This guy has been struggling. He needed that badly. I love his swagger that he plays the game with. He's had a great career. That made it a 4-1 ball game. Then Gene Segura breaks the game open. He hits a 2-run single to score Alec Boehm and Bryce Harper. And the Phillies now make it a 6-1 ball game. At that point, I'm like, okay, I feel pretty good. It's the top of the 8th inning. We're up 6-1. Nats Prime, did you think that game was over at that point?
I mean, I didn't think it was entirely over, against the Phillies bullpen, but, without Trey Turner.
Oh, my God. Yeah. I was pretty confident. I wasn't like 100% sure, but I was pretty confident. I'm like, okay, I think we got this. I mean, top of the 8th inning, I think we got this. And we were able to add some returns. Didi Gregorius with a big 3-run home run to make it a 9-1 ball game. He's been great for us this year. I'd love to keep him. I'd love to sign him to a 2-year deal or something like that. I mean, it's somewhere in that range, 2 to 3 year deal, because he has been great for us this year, especially if he could stay healthy. I know he's had some health problems in his career. If he could stay healthy, I mean, this guy is just a great shortstop. I mean, he's just a good hitter. I love what he brings to the table for this team. So it's a 9-1 ball game. At that point, I'm like, okay, now it's over. I mean, you never know with the bullpen though, but I mean, this was, and then Andrew Knapp in the same inning, another 3-run homer. His second of the season, and it's now a 12-1 ball game. So we just, the icing on the cake right there, after the Didi Gregorius home run, we get an Andrew Knapp 3-run home run. I tell you, this guy's been great behind home plate, a switch hitting catcher. I tell you, if we do lose JT Muto, which I'm not too confident about keeping him, Andrew Knapp has proved that this year he's been a very, very good hitter. I mean, it's just, last year, in his career, he has not been a very good hitter. But this year, he's put up great offensive numbers. Then in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Nationals get 2 back as Juan Soto hits his 13th home run of the season, like fly ball to left center field, a 2-run shot to make it a 12-3 ball game, and that is your ball game. 12-3 your final score as the Phillies salvage the last game of the 4-game series. It's Bryce Harper homers twice. We get 2 3-run home runs from Didi and Andrew Knapp. Andrew McCutchen goes deep as well. Zach Eflin, 8 strong innings. As I said, Nats Prime, what did you think of the Juan Soto home run in the bottom of the 9th inning when it didn't even matter?
I mean, of course it didn't matter. I mean, you're not going to come down.
Yeah.
I mean, come back from a 12-1 deficit, but, Soto, he went on kind of a cold streak, after he was out with an elbow injury, but he's been great this series, getting on base. Opposite field homers, which the same thing with Harper. Like when they're hitting opposite field homers, their swing, in their best form. So
yeah,
I mean, I like what I'm seeing from Soto. I'm not worried about him at all.
Yeah, as you said, but I mean, at that part of the game, you kind of have to just be selfish when you're a player, just worry about yourself and try to just go out there for your own stats, of course. Andrew McCutchen with a 3-hit night out of the leadoff spot tonight. Alec Boehm with a 2-hit night. Bryce Harper, 4 runs scored tonight, 2 solo home runs. He was great. Didi Gregorius with a 2-hit night tonight. Gene Segura with a 2-hit night tonight. Our offense was on tonight. 12 runs. Amazing. We did leave 17 runners on base tonight. It's just amazing. We scored 12 runs. We leave 17 runners on base. Zach Eflin, 8 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. It's the second great outing that he's had in a row. Last outing, he pitched a complete game. And as Nats Prime said, he's had great numbers against the Nats in his career, and they continue tonight. I tell you, he could be a decent number 3, number 4 down the stretch. I keep saying it. If he could just be more consistent, I like Zach Eflin. I mean, I do. I know that he's very, very shaky sometimes. Sometimes he looks absolutely awful, and sometimes he looks great. He's looked great. I'm telling you, I really, really like what I've seen out of him. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it. They tried him in the 9th inning, gave up that 2-run home run to Juan Soto, and that was it for him. Brogdon went the rest of the way. He pitched a nice, clean 9th inning after that Soto home run. But guys, that's your ball game. The Phillies salvaged the final game of the series as they will head to Tampa Bay to take on the Rays to get the off day tomorrow. The Rays just clinched the AL East, which is huge because this gives the Rays, they don't have anything to play for now. Because they've already clinched their division. So this is huge for the Phillies. This is huge for the Phillies because now you don't know how hard the Rays are trying, and they're not playing all their starters. Are they letting their young guys play? So this is huge for the Phillies. This is a big, big series, and they only sit a half a game out of second place. So we need to win this series against the Tampa Bay Rays. We still sit one below 500. Disappointing series of this Nationals series. I mean, this is a series that we should have taken 3 out of 4, especially when we had Nola. We had Wheeler and Nola going the first 2 games. I mean, especially the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. I mean, how do you lose that game going against Austin Vogt, who has had a terrible season? And I didn't even get to talk about this. The terrible call yesterday. I hate to talk about this because this is supposed to be really a positive video, but I didn't get to talk about it last night in my video, and I just completely forgot to talk about it. The interference call on Alex Bone when Roman Quinn swiped third base. I mean, what a terrible call. That is his swing. That is his swing. For them to say, oh, he got away to catcher, that is his swing. I mean, that is just absurd. So now when a guy steals the base, he's all of a sudden supposed to shorten his swing? I mean, that is absurd. I mean, I want to get your opinion about this, Nats, Brian. As a Nationals fan, I mean, I think you have to admit, don't you think that was a bad call? I mean, I don't know if you saw that or not, but, I mean, how in the world is that an interference?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't think it was an interference, but
yeah,
I'll take the call.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one in Nats' favor for sure. I mean, that was just a really, really bad call. And John Kruk was going off. I agree with everything he said. So this is a big, big series for the Phillies coming up against the Tampa Bay Rays. We need to win 2 out of 3. We get the day off tomorrow, as I said. We need to win 2 out of 3. And we got a 640 start. We got Vinny Velasquez on the mound, who was great his last start. That does give me a little hope. He's 1-1 with a 5.46 ERA, going against Charlie Morton, former Philly, 2-2 with a 4.64 ERA. We got Wheeler going the second game. We need to win this series. This is so important. And we got Nola going the final game of the series. I mean, so we got two horses going in this series. We have Vince Velasquez is coming off of a great start. So I do have faith that this team could make the playoffs, but that loss last night in the doubleheader was brutal because I feel like that did have an impact on if we can make the playoffs or not. No question about it. So to wrap things up here, you talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the video that you're happy that you obviously took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies and potentially spoiled their playoff chances. But how do you feel about how the Nationals have played this season? I had Nats Report come on about a month ago. So a lot has changed for the Nationals about a month. Not really. I mean, they were still playing awful baseball around that time. Well, a month has passed now, and they're just as bad as they were when Nats Report came on. So what do you think of how this team has played this year? They've definitely underachieved. They've had a lot of injuries with Strasburg and Castro being out. Do you think that they'll be able to bounce back next year?
Yeah, we just need to, maybe a 4th starter because Sanchez needs to go. If they can sign a guy like Kevin Gausman, you have Scherzer, Strasburg, Corbin, Gausman, and then maybe Ross or both, and then a big bat. I'd love to get Real Muto if Matt Klentak can do us a favor, and maybe another reliever, to solidify the bullpen because Sean Doolittle, he's done. Daniel Hudson. Yeah. I mean, I hope this year he just underachieved and he hasn't just fallen off a cliff. But I think we have a good chance to go deep in the playoffs again next year.
Yeah, so as you said, the team can stay healthy, but they need a big bat. I think losing Anthony Rendon, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think this really, really hurt the Nationals. I mean, what a big bat that was. Juan Soto is definitely going to continue to develop. I mean, I saw something today that he's a huge MVP candidate next year. I mean, he's having a great year this year. And if Victor Robles can develop, I mean, I think that we have not seen the best of Victor Robles yet. Because it's been a little bit of a disappointment so far in Victor Robles' career from the Nationals fan perspective. I'm sure you can agree with me on that.
Yeah, I mean, his defense, you can argue that he's the best defensive outfielder in all of baseball, but his hitting, hopefully that'll just improve over time. But him, obviously Soto, Garcia, Kieboom, we still have a decent future.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, Nats, Brian, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. The Phillies lose 3 out of 4 to the Nationals, but they were able to salvage the final game of the series as they win 12-3. Harper with 2 home runs in this one. Nats, Brian, I hope to have you on again, man.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Guys, please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, call or text 267-225-3392, email me, phillieshotstove@gmail.com. Guys, check out the social media, link description section, @phillieshotstove, Instagram, @Harper Fanatics, Instagram. Velasquez versus Morton, 6:40 the first pitch, Friday night. Let's go Phillies. This is a huge series. We have to win 2 out of 3 against this Tampa Bay Rays team. They are a tough team. It is clinching the AL East tonight. So talk to you all later. I was joined by Nats Prime. I'll see you guys later. Bye.